And welcome to our week number 2 recording of a live stream. Not quite a live stream this week since we're not meeting in person. Since today is a campus-wide flex day, I wanted to be respectful and mindful of that and not hold a class. But I did want to make a recording since we're so new. It's only week number 2. I want to make sure you're feeling good about what's expected of you. And definitely talk a little bit about that first exam that we have this week. So thank you so much for watching this. I hope it's helpful for you in lieu of a live stream, which hopefully we can pick right back up with next week. But we are right here in week number 2. And remember, you have access to 2 weeks of material at a time. So technically we're in weeks 1 and 2. So if you haven't already, make sure that you do work on and complete everything from week number 1, which we went over last week in our live stream, chapter 1 and 2. Discussions 1 and 2. So this week I'm going to be focusing on week number 2, since that's where we are at, and we move on to chapters 3 and 4 on biological psychology and sensation and perception. So as always, you're going to want to make sure you do 3 things for each chapter. I laugh because I can't hold up 3 the proper way because I broke my wrist too many times. So three things for each chapter. You're going to want to read the chapter in the ebook, read through my lecture, and then watch the lecture video, and make sure you're always doing all 3 things. And between those 3 things together, you should have a pretty good understanding of the materials. So once you have finished doing all of that reading, you have discussions 3 and 4 this week. Discussion 3 is on chapter 3. And so for this one, as usual, you have my instructions at the top. Remember that these are worth 15 points. So you need to reply not only to my questions, but also to a classmate. Think about them as little mini papers, really elaborate and show off your knowledge and understanding of the materials. Make sure you're watching my videos. These videos, I took some time to make them. They should be really helpful for you and giving you some tips and suggestions. But with this one, we're looking at a couple of things. So number 1, what are neurons and why are they important? Number 2, referencing the specific chain of events and processes involved, describe how neurons communicate with each other. Now, this is the biggest point earner of this discussion, and a lot of the time people don't quite give me enough. So please make sure you're describing that chain of events, talking about electrochemical communication, really elaborate here in that whole process. And then you're going to read this article about the 10% myth. There's actually a couple of articles. They're very similar. So read through that. And then you're going to talk about what are the origins or beginnings of the myth, and give me 2 reasons or pieces of evidence why we know that the 10% myth is false. And again, this is a very common myth. A lot of people have heard of it. You're going to be writing about it here. Hit reply when you're ready, and then don't forget to also reply to a classmate. Discussion number 4 is about sensation and perception. And this one is kind of a little bit of an experiment. So as always, you have my instructions. Again, 15 points, 13 for your responses to my questions, and 2 for your responses to a classmate. My video is here as usual. So with this one, you're going to read a little article related to smell and memory. And then I want you to gather a small sample of some items: coffee beans, tea, cinnamon, chocolate, chapstick, a candle, grass, dirt, a flower, crayons, Play-Doh, some kind of fresh fruit or an herb, and you can choose some uncommon things. I want you to gather some stuff, and you're going to take a moment with each item that you have, and I want you to close your eyes and smell it, right? Really try and take that item in, try and clear your mind. And then you're going to write about, did you experience any associations or memories? What did you respond to the most, the least? Any other items that you tried or would suggest? Things that are really common, you might just have associations with. But if you smell something very specific and random, it might lead to a smell memory, which are really kind of cool when they happen. Number 2 here, what are smell memories and why do they occur? This is the one here worth the most points. So definitely take some time to explain how they occur, what they are, what's making them happen in the brain and in the body. You can get that from the smell memory articles or also from the textbook, but that's the one where people tend to struggle the most here. So really elaborate on that question. And then how can you use this knowledge in your personal life? And make sure you give me some kind of specific application of how you could use this to help you in some way. So as always, you'll hit reply, and then don't forget to also reply to a classmate to get those kind of easy 2 points of that like discussion involvement. The other thing that we have going on this week is we do have exam number 1, and I want to take a few minutes just to make sure you know what to expect. The exams are all on the ebook site. And so if you click on exam 1, it's going to remind you that you need to go to the ebook site to take it. Hopefully everyone has that registered and purchased and all set at this point. I will take you over there and show that to you, but the exam is due by this Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. It's worth 75 points, and I have given you a study guide. The study guide is your best friend for the exam. If it's on the study guide, it will be on the test. If it's not on the study guide, you don't need to worry about it. So make sure that you know everything here from chapters 1, 2, 3, and 4. There's also 2 diagrams on this exam that you will be matching to some items on the test. So make sure that you can label these things and that you know all of these terms and concepts. So basically the exam is something that I've written, right? And what I do after I write the exam is I put all those terms that you need to know on the study guide. So again, if it's on here, make sure you know it. If it's not on here, you can let it go. And if it were me, I am one of those like meticulous straight A students, but if it were me, I would write out or type out every term on here, and I would have it in front of me when I go to take the exam. That way, if you get to something like phrenology, for example, and you can't remember if that was in the lecture or the textbook or a video, you're not using valuable test time to try and find that. You have it in front of you already. I think it's always better to over prepare for the first exam, and then you can always dial it back next time if you did too much, than to have that moment during the test where you're like, oh my gosh, I didn't study enough and I'm stressed. And if you're trying to look up every answer, you will definitely run out of time. So make sure that you do study and prepare like you would for a normal exam. That's going to be really important to your success. And let's go take a look at the exam quickly together, just where you can find that on the ebook site. So if you are logged into the ebook site, which of course it always takes a second to get there, and I do have 2 sections of this class, so don't worry if the number doesn't quite match up to yours. But when you're on the ebook site, we're almost there. The exams are up here at the top where it says exams, right? So if you click on that and then scroll down, right? So here's the mandatory orientation quiz that you took. And then if you scroll down, here are the instructions for exams 1 through 4. And a couple of things here. So you have 75 minutes to complete the exam, and you only get 1 attempt. So make sure that you are ready and organized before you begin. And a couple of tips with that, make sure that you have 75 minutes. Make sure that you have a quiet place that's free of as much distraction as possible, that you have good internet connection, and you are all set to go. Make sure all those things are in place just to give yourself the best chance at being successful. You can use your notes, you can use your book, but make sure again that you have studied and prepared. If you are trying to look up every answer, I promise you that you are going to run out of time. So really important again that you have studied and prepared. I will never trick you on an exam. All my questions should be very clear. If it's not, try and read it again. And you can always let me know afterward if there's something you had a question about. But everything should be very clear and straightforward. As long as you've studied and prepared, you should be in really good shape. I want you all to do really well. So I'm hoping that that's the case. Just make sure that you study and prepare and do your part. A couple other things, you have to save your answers. So remember with the mandatory orientation quiz, you want everything to be that gold orange color. And then at that point, you can hit save or submit. Also make sure that you're watching your time. Okay, so you have 75 minutes. It will stop you if you run out of time. So just make sure you're skipping things. If you don't know the answer, you can always come back to them, and that you're being mindful of the time you have left. And when you're done, you'll click I am finished. You'll get a score instantly. Remember that this score does not automatically come over into Canvas. So don't worry if you don't see it in Canvas. That doesn't mean anything. I will bring the scores over to Canvas once the deadline has passed. So good luck on the exam. I hope it goes really well for all of you. We'll look at some statistics and how you all did next week when we meet on our live stream. But please make sure you study and prepare. Set yourself up for success. Don't wait until Sunday night. If you wait till Sunday night, inevitably, right, the power will go out, the internet will go out, your computer will break. It's just like the law of the universe. So please try and take this a little earlier in the week. Take it Friday, take it Saturday, Sunday morning even. Just try not to wait till Sunday evening. It just feels like your chances for a problem skyrocket at that point. Okay, so study with the study guide, complete the exam on the ebook site. The only other thing for this week, obviously this video was posted right here. I will give you the extra credit question. You can still answer this question right here under optional extra credit number 2, even though we didn't have a live stream, kind of a freebie in a sense. Anyone and everyone watching this can answer it. So here is the question for this week. Where did it go? Oops, sorry. I'm in the wrong week live stream here. Let me pull this up. We are in week number 2. So here is your extra credit question. What is meant by electrochemical communication? Describe both pieces of how neurons communicate with each other. So what is meant by electrochemical communication? Describe the electrical piece and the chemical piece. And this should be something that would be really helpful for you in your discussion answer this week too. So save that response. You can definitely kind of use parts of it again. And if you're ready to answer that, you go to Canvas. Sorry, all these things in the way here. Click on optional Twitch extra credit number 2. And then up at the top, you're going to click on start assignment right here. And that will bring up the text box where you can type your response. And again, this week, you don't have to worry about being on a live stream or putting your name in a chat because we didn't have one. So any of you are welcome to answer this, get those 2 points of extra credit. Make sure that you get going on everything from week number 2. And if you haven't already, make sure you complete week number 1. Everything from weeks 1 and 2 is due by this Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. And then next week on Wednesday at 11:30, we will resume our normal live stream schedule, and hopefully everything will be nice and back on track. So I hope everyone is doing well. Hang in there. Hope you're having a good day and a good week. And I will look forward to seeing you on Wednesday next week for our next live stream. So take care, everyone, and I will see you next week.